Yo, what is up everybody, it's Inverter Creeper here, and today we're back with another Minecraft video. Today I'm going to be doing a video which is called 10 redstone circuits that you should probably know when you're building redstone contraptions. So, without further ado, let's get on with today's video. Yeah. Okay, so the first one we have here is the NOT gate, or also known as the inverter. So basically how it works is when our output is off, we get when our input is off, we get an output. But when we turn on the input, our output is off. So basically that is how it works. And I'm just gonna grab that. And basically, if you are wondering how you build these contraptions, I will give a tutorial for all of them. So how you build this is just place a block here. This is your input, and by the way, it's a 1x3 area, and then you place a redstone torch. It's actually, yeah, redstone torch right there, and then you get your output right there. That's the first one complete. So the second one is the AND gate. So how the AND gate works is when one of the input is off, we do not get an output, but when both the inputs are on, we get an output. So both of the inputs have to be on for the output to be on. So like that, and our output's on, and like that. Now here we have a vertical version of it. So when one of them's on, we get no output. Both of them's on, we get an output. So no output, output. So basically how to build the horizontal one, you want to get started with a 2x3 area, place blocks going across like that with your inputs with redstone torches, and with a piece of redstone dust and with a torch, which is your output. For the vertical one, this is how you build it. You want to place your free high pillar with your levers like that, with solid blocks like that, and a repeater, and this redstone does your output. Then place a block with a piece of redstone dust. Then on top right here, you'll place a face down sticky piston with a block on its face, and there we go. Fully functional. That's fully functional. And on now the third one we have is a monostable circuit, or known as a pulse limiter. So how it works is basically normally we will have, when we click the button, we get a certain amount of pulse, which is 10 ticks on the stone button, 15 ticks on the wooden button. But now, what this monostable circuit does is it shortens the pulse into a 1 tick pulse. So as you can see, when we hit this button, it gives a really fast pulse. And how it works is because how this piece of redstone does, it goes through this, it powers the block. We can take a repeater output which powers the lamp. But 1 tick later, this piston will also extend, because this redstone is powering the block, powering the piston, which cuts off the redstone signal and does not give it a signal output anymore. Here is another version of the monostable circuit, is known as a dropper hopper monostable. So when we hit the button, we get a really fast pulse. And yeah. So build the first one, you get started off with a 1x3 area, and you want to place a block right here. Your input is going to be right there. Place a face of sticky piston with a block on its face, with a block right here with a repeater and a piece of redstone dust, and there we go, fully functional. Now for a second one, you want to place a block right there with your input. Place a dropper facing upward, a hopper running downwards. Make sure to shift click. So as you can see, shift click and then shift click like that, and then you want to place an item just running into that, and then place a block with a comparator. So as you can see, there's your output. Now there are a lot of types of monostable circuits, and one type is called the falling edge monostable circuits. So right here have the rising edge, so it will power at the start of the pulse. But what falling edge does, it powers at the end of the pulse. So when you hit this button, no output, then we get an output at the end when the button releases. So that's how it works. So basically how to build it is place a block with our input, place a redstone torch, and blocks going out like that, with a sticky piston with a block on its face, with a piece of redstone dust, then a repeater going into like that, which is your output. So as you see, it works beautifully. And we also have the dual edge version. So what dual edge version does is it sends a signal on both input and output. Not input, output, both start and end of the pulse. So as you see, we get flash and flash. And how this one works is because when the block is extending, when it's in the middle, it's not powering any of these torches because it's in the middle. So this redstone signal turns off, allowing this torch to flash once, and the block goes to here, which powers the redstone again, which turns off the redstone torch, then retracts and does the same thing. And yeah, so I do have the leechers on, take those off. So you get started with a 3x4 area, place a 2-high pillar like that with your input, with a sticky piston with a block on its face. Take out these 2 blocks, place 2 redstone torches like that, with a 3-block grid like that, with redstone dust all along, with your torch, and your output is right there. Now we're on to the next circuit. The next circuit is called the T flip-flop, also known as a toggleable flip-flop. So what it does, it sends a constant output on the button instead of the lever. So when we click the button, we get constant output and it stays on forever. And when we hit the button again, the output turns off and stays off forever. So now this circuit may look pretty familiar because this circuit is actually made out of the monostable circuit, as you can see. And what one-tick pulse, and something about one-tick pulses is that it makes sticky pistons spit out their blocks. So as you can see, click the button, it spit out its block. As you see, it's a sticky piston, and we'll retract it. We'll give it another signal, and that's it. And now we have the second version, which is a drop a hopper T flip-flop. So we hit the button, it turns the signal on. Hit the button again, and it's off. So get onto the tutorial, and we'll place blocks going across like that with a button, redstone dust, sticky piston facing over with a block, with a repeater. Then place a sticky piston going out like that with a block. Replace that with a redstone torch. Place a block like this with a piece of redstone dust, which is your output. So hit the button, constant output, and no more output. So for this one, what you want to do is place dropper facing like this, a dropper facing upwards, a dropper facing this way, and a hopper going like this. Break that, replace solid block with a comparator, place in an item with your input. As you can see, it works beautifully. And yeah, that's the fourth circuit done. Now the fifth circuit is very, very simple, which is called the OR gate. So this works kind of the opposite of the AND gate. So when one of the inputs, when either one of the input is on, the output is on. So we can hit this one, the output's still on, and this one very simple. Place 3 blocks going out like that, and with redstone dust just going along like that. Then get yourself a lever, place 2 levers like that, and there you go. That's pretty simple. Now the next circuit we have is the RSNOR Latch. So how this one works is we can hit this button, it changes the signal output and into no output or have an output. So and then we can hit this button a couple hundred times. We won't change the output, but when we hit the other button, it changes the output, and now it's on. And we can hit that a couple hundred times, and that will not do anything until we hit this button, which changes the output. Now we have a second version, which is this one right here, so we can hit this button and turns off the signal output, and we can hit this button a couple hundred times and it will still not work, and until we hit this button, it changes it. And we can hit that button a couple hundred times, if we don't get any output change, and we hit this button, it changes the output. So how we build the first one is very simple, and what we're going to do is place a block, a dropper facing upwards, place 2 blocks above, break this block, place a dropper facing downwards with your inputs on these blocks, with a block right here with a comparator, and oops, I didn't mean to do that. Break that comparator, place a comparator going like that with a item inside, so as you see, fully functional. So hit that 100 times. Now the next one is pretty simple also. Place 2 blocks like this with your inputs like that. Place redstone torches going like that. Replace these one with solid blocks. Place 2 pieces of redstone dust like that, and there you go. There's your circuit working. So on to the 7th, I believe it's the 7th circuit of the day. It is the double piston extender. So basically, normally when we place a piston like this, it only extends 1 block. But what this circuit allows us to do is when we give it an input, the block will extend out to here instead of here. So as you can see, when we flick on the lever, it extends onto the dropper right there, and when we retract it, and it fully retracts. So very simple concept. So basically how this one works is we power this redstone. This redstone is being constantly powering this thing right here. Now this extends first, since it's 2 ticks, because this one's not powering anything, so it doesn't really count as power anything. So this one extends first. When it extends, this one is extended, and this piston's right here, and this redstone just powers it, so the block is pushed twice, so it's onto this dropper. It is a dropper. And when on the retraction, this is going to retract. The piston right here is going to retract first. Since this redstone has no delay, then this piston will retract this piston, which is right here. Then we still have the block right here, and because this is a 4-tick delay redstone repeater, this piston will be continuously retracting the block. So as you can see, and it extends and retracts the block really fast. If you can see it right there, you see that? You guys see that? So yeah, that's pretty simple. Now that one, this design is unfortunately not flush with the wall, so you can't place blocks like right here. So what we can do, we have a flush with the wall design right here. So it works with the exact same concept. So extends and retracts. So this is very simple, and it actually does require less resources, which is actually a good thing. So I do recommend building this one. So what you want to do for first version is getting started with a 3x3 area, and your block is going to extend here. This is the direction I'm going to be extending, so don't get confused. So we're just going to replace all these with solid blocks, and this is going to be our input. Place redstone dust going like that. Place a repeater set to 4 ticks, a repeater set to 2 ticks, with sticky pistons going like that, with a block just going like that, and then we get the double extension and retraction. For the second one, you get started with a 3x4 area, and place, and we're going to extend it to here, so place a wall right here, like that. This is where our input's going to go. Then place a block like this, a block up like that, then 2 blocks like this, a block up like that, with a block like this, and a block up like that. So you should end up with something like this. You want to place a redstone repeater set to 2 ticks, with 2 pieces of redstone dust across like that, with a redstone repeater set to 2 ticks once again. Then place in your pistons, just go like that, and there you go. Full double extension, double retraction. Now onto the next circuit. The next circuit is known as a pulse extender. So what it does, it takes the input and extends it. So normally this button will give a 10-tick pulse, but now it will give a longer pulse. So as you can see, the button is off, but the pulse continues until it cycles off. Now the comparator works a little bit differently, because right now it looks like it's a redstone. Oh, it's a redstone clock, but no, it is not a redstone clock. And how comparators work, it works differently. So the output cycles around like this and cycles until it has no more power. So if we hit this button and look at the redstone, you can see the power is dropping continuously. Hold on. As you can see on the side right here, it dropped to 0 and now no more output is on. And right now, this circuit only extends it a little bit, right? But if you want it to extend more, just add more comparators, for example, like this one. So when I hit the button, it extends for quite a bit of while actually, and takes quite a bit of time. And now, finally, it has no more signal, and there is another version for it. It's just called the Abrogate. So we can click this button and extends. So basically how it works is this button will power the block, which powers the repeater and powers our lamp. But then these repeaters take 12 ticks to reach the block, which is exactly when this repeater turns off. The redstone signal catches up and continues to power the redstone lamp until it turns off. Like this. As you see, it reached there. Yep. Now how to build it is very simple. I'm just gonna replace all of these with normal blocks. You want to place your 2 pieces of redstone dust right there. Then place in your input going right there. Place a comparator facing this way, a comparator facing this way. Place that block. And this is gonna be your output right here. It can be over here, it can be over here. And yeah, that is very simple. So as you can see, it's fully functional. And now onto the slightly bigger version. It's just the exact same concept, so I'm just gonna do it anyways. So you place a block with your input, 2 pieces of redstone dust, comparators going across like that. Redstone dust with a block right there, comparators going across like that. And there we go, fully functional pulse extender. For the final one, the Abrogate, this is what we're gonna do, is just gonna place blocks across like this, blocks going across like that, with your input with a repeater set to 4 ticks, repeater set to 4 ticks, repeater set to 4 ticks, and there is your output, as you can see. Onto the second final circuit, we have the redstone clocks. So right here we have a toggleable redstone clock. When we flip this lever, a redstone lamp continuously turns on and off. When you turn it off, now this here we have another design, which is the repeater clock right here. And yeah, it's very simple. This is using hoppers cycling items around, and the comparator detects it. It sends a signal. This one, if you want a rather fast clock, I recommend using this one. As you can see, when we hit this lever, it really continues flashing. And I'm actually going to explain how this one works, because the comparator is actually in subtract mode, which means it subtracts the signal. So right now this redstone is sending a signature of 15, and then 14 and 13 running back into the comparator. When this signature is 15, we subtract it by 30, which is 2. When it's 2, it sends a signal strength with 2. So it sends a signal strength of 2, and then 1, and then no more. So, and then it will stop subtracting and send another new signal. It's doing that at pretty much every game tick, so you can't really tell that it's actually happening. Yeah, pretty useful. Onto now, that was really fast, but how about if you want a really long pulse? Now this is known as the hopper timer, and this is an exact long pulse. So how this one works is items cycle, a large amount of items cycle through a round. And if you want the pulse to be longer, just add more items. Now to build the first one, the normal hopper clock, you'll place hoppers running into each other. Make sure you're holding shift. Replace this block with a solid block with a comparator like that. And our lever our toggleable can be thrown in like that. We can throw in an item just running into that, and that will work. We can toggle it off and toggle it on. Now for the second one is the repeater clock, which is very simple. Just replace these 4 blocks with solid blocks with blocks going up like that. And if you want the delay to be long, just click the repeater more. I'll just leave it to the normal delay. And then how we can activate it is a cool little trick. Instead of just like doing this sort of stuff, which is sometimes a little bit challenging for new players and stuff like that. What a new feature or a new trick I've learned is we can place a block like this, lever turn it on with a redstone torch, and it powers it. And there we go. We have a super fast clock. It really is super fast. So I'm just gonna leave this thing on. I just goofed. There we go. And I hope we have a decent speed clock. Now for the comparator clock, it's very simple. Place a block like this with your lever. Replace these blocks with solid blocks. Place a comparator so it's in subtract mode. Place your redstone dust, and your output can be over here, and as you see, fully functional. And for the final one, the EFO hopper timer, we'll replace these ones with NOR blocks and place hoppers running into that, with comparators running into those blocks, with blocks going up like that, redstone dust on either side, with sticky pistons just going like this and like that, with a redstone block like this, and a block this, which is the output. Or there is another way. If you don't want to use a redstone block, it can be cheaper, but it is still pretty expensive. We can use a cauldron, and we can get a water bucket. We can get one of those out. We can place that in and fill it with that, and place a block like this with a comparator, and there's your output. And we just need to throw in items into this thing, so it'll start cycling around. I think I just goofed. You cannot do that. Oh my gosh, I think I just showed you a really bad example. Do not do what I just do. Do not do what I just did. Place a redstone block and then throw in your item. There we go. And this is your output. There you go. I don't even know how I managed to goof that one up. Like, that was a really bad one to goof up. But anyways, for final circuit, we have the torch burnout. So this is a circuit that we have used before we had that super fast comparator clock. So as you can see, when we turn off, the redstone torch keeps turning off, on and off. It makes a horrendous noise, and the redstone dust keeps flashing on and off. And how this one works is because the torch is powering the block, which powers the redstone, and the redstone powers the block and turns off that torch, and then turns off the torch, and yeah, it just keeps cycling around. And why? And you might be asking, why do we need 3 torches like that? Well, because if we had blocks of just like that, it would detect that it's not a thing, that it's not like it's hard to explain. It's like not like they don't like it, or however you like to explain it. It's not like conditional or whatever. I don't know what's the word, but it's not like allowed or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's just the game just simply just doesn't like it. How about we say that? Okay, but very simple. And you can toggle it on and off. Place a piece of redstone dust with torches on either side, like that. And there you go. You can toggle it on and off. It makes a freaking flippin' horrendous noise. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more of these videos and more of these redstone tutorials. By the way, check out my previous redstone video. It was this contraption. If you want to know how to build it, go check it out. And please subscribe and like the videos for more of these videos. It will be very appreciated. And I guess I will catch you guys on the Minecraft video.